Yo, what's good, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry's ZATIMA review. This is season 2, episode 17, entitled Energy Shift. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff if you choose to. If not, just sit back and relax, and we gonna get right into this thing. Now, episode 17 opens up with Fatima calling Paul, and she calls him because she's in her feelings about Zach, and he can hear it in her voice, and he asks her if she wants to talk about it, and she tells him no, because then he'll think that she's trying to use him. And I'm like, sis, you are. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's call a spade a spade. Paul knows Fatima is using him. Fatima knows she's using him. Hell, we know that Fatima is using him. So I'm like, girl, just be honest and just admit it. You are using Paul, and he's already giving you the permission to use him. I don't know what that's about. You know, that kind of got me looking at him sideways, but that's neither here or there. She's using him, and we all know it. So she wants to go for a run. It's extremely late, and so Paul was like, I'll go with you. I'm not really into running, so I'll bring my bike. And as she's getting ready to leave, she is met with Angela, who comes down looking like a cheetah in heat. Okay, Angela is ready to get her back blown out by Sam, which is Paul's friend. And so in the midst of her talking to Angela, there's the doorbell, and Angela let Fatima know that her dick appointment has arrived. Okay, and I'm gonna need for you to go. I said, Angela is so thirsty. Oh my God. Angela is so thirsty. I don't like that for her. Like, I do understand, and I'm all for, women or people having a healthy sexual appetite, a healthy sexual lifestyle. But if you have to come off as being greedy or desperate or just need for it just comes off as ugh. I don't have a better word to describe. I don't have the verbiage other than ugh. That's just what I get from Angela. It's not appealing, and it's not cute, boo. It's not cute, Angela, but we all know that that's Angela. So Fatima and Paul go to the park, and they're communicating, and, she's talking about Zach, and Paul is making it known that, of course he's attracted to Fatima. If he had it his way, he would be with Fatima. He wants to touch her and be with her sexually, but he kind of knows that's not going to happen. And Fatima lets him know that, right now she just needs a friend. I said, girl, women do this, and I can't stand that we do this, but we do it. We do it. First of all, you're not going to be this man's friend. This man is not going to be your friend, because even though he does like you and he sees something in you, he is still very much sexually attracted to you and wants to experience you in a sexual way. So it's hard to start a friendship like that. Not that it's incapable or impossible. It's hard to start a friendship when you've already kind of crossed the line. No, they have not had sex. However, they have kissed and fondled and gone out, and there is a physical attraction and a sexual attraction. So playing that role of, I just need you to be my friend, I was like, Fatima, get the hell out of here. That man, really? That's what we gonna go with? Okay, I guess. But they kind of, they cut it short, and, Paul was just letting her know, if ever you need to call me, I'm never not going to answer the phone for you. Like, I'm always going to be around. And I was like, I don't like this, because it almost screams desperate. Well, I guess it does scream desperate. And I don't like to see that for you, Paul. I think you're better than that. I think you're better than waiting for Fatima to come to her senses and choose the better option. That's just me. I wouldn't be waiting for anybody. I would not be waiting on the phone. I would not be waiting for your call to tell me now, yes, it's the time. Because he was like, that one phone call, this may be you, letting me know it's time. Like, it's time for us to be together. It's time that, you want to give us a chance. I said, you know what? Either Tyler make these men just no damn good, or he makes them just come off as desperate. And the men who come off as desperate can really pull probably any woman they want to. I just don't get it. It's not attractive. That part of a personality is not attractive to me. not attractive to Alicia. Not saying that some other woman may not find it attractive. It just doesn't come off as sexy to me. It's a turnoff. So we see Connie, Zach, and Jeremiah at the hospital, and Jeremiah is blaming Zach for their mom ODing. And basically, Jeremiah is high as hell. Okay, let's just get that out the way. Jeremiah is an addict. Jeremiah is high as hell right now. Jeremiah got the crackhead rock. He got the crackhead scratching, the crackhead itch. He just cracked the hell out, okay? And I hate that for him, but that's just where he is. And the fact that he's blaming Zach for this because he stated that Zach should have never gave his mom the $500, then she wouldn't have had the funds to go and get the drugs. And I'm like, how dare you? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't give a crackhead money, but that's just me. And I damn sure wouldn't have given them $500 to go, because you know what they're going to do with it. So I understand what Jeremiah was saying. If the mama didn't have the money, then she wouldn't have had the access. But at the same time, to blame Zach for that, nah, I wasn't here for it. This episode here, and I'm not really going to any sense of direction, but this episode for me really painted Connie in a different light. We were able to see Connie as, to me, a human. She wasn't, this person who was just fantasizing about having sex with Zach, or just being, vulgar at the mouth and saying all these sexually explicit things. We really got to see who Connie was as a person, how much she cared about Zach, him as a person, and their friendship. And I really was grateful that Tyler Perry wrote it in that way, because sometimes he paint these characters as one-dimensional, and we really don't get to see the humanistic side of them. We really don't get to see the layered aspects of who they are. And with Connie, we were able to see that. Connie brought up, the fact that she's a mother. I would have never guessed. I would have never even speculated. But Connie is a mother. Connie is concerned about, getting her kids to school on time the next morning, because she's at the hospital and it's late. So we were able to see that. I just had to give Tyler props for that, because that is something that, as a viewer and also as a writer, that I can appreciate when you begin to just show us a person, and not just them being characterized by their antics, but really, humanizing them. And I think that he did that quite well in episodes 17 and 18 with the character of Connie. Then we get to these dumbasses. I'm sorry. Belinda and Nate. I don't like either one of these characters. And the fact that they were working together to try to bring down Fatima and Zach is so stupid. I'm like, could we please get better storylines for them? But anyway, Belinda is upset with Nate because he told that she's the one who set up this fake dating profile for Fatima. She was just in her feelings about that. Long story short, they ended up having sex, okay, which I did not need to see. I did not want to see. I was like, Tyler, you just threw this sex scene up in here that nobody damn sure asked for. We could definitely have done without it. And in the midst of them having sex, Nate gets a phone call, and Belinda says, that better not be no B. Like, that better not be no other chick on the phone. I'm like, and if it was, what were you going to do? First of all, this man is married. So what does it matter? You the side chick. What? I said, you know what? I don't understand. But basically, it is Tony calling Nate to let him know that Miss Gladys overdosed and she's at the hospital. And Tony did not want to call Nate, but he did because Connie told him to. And in the midst of, Nate getting ready, putting his clothes on or whatever, Belinda tells him that she's going to go with him. Now, from a viewer perspective, there was no reason why Belinda should have been going. But Belinda is messy. Belinda is about mess. Belinda wanted to show a scene. And in the midst, before they had sex, let me go back. Belinda and Nate were talking. And it appears that Belinda has either some unresolved feelings for Zach. She's still sexually attracted to Zach. Maybe she want to get that old thing back, running back one more time, even though her and Zach only dealt with each other on a one-night stand only basis. That's all it was. I don't like the narrative that Black women just can't have healthy friendships. Not that there won't be any conflict or things that come up that, we have to navigate and talk about and, reassess and all of those things. But I hate the fact that like jealousy and envy is a huge part of a lot of these, a lot of the foundations of the relationships with Tyler Perry on these shows. I'm like, everybody have to be scared of Fatima. Everybody have to be jealous of Fatima and what's going on. I'm sorry, Zach ain't nobody to be jealous about. There is nothing going on with Zach, nothing that he has given Fatima or demonstrates other than his penis that anybody should be jealous of. And even that penis got some issues with that. But this is not the time to go into detail with that. But I just don't like that. You know, I remember when ZATIMA first started, the first episode. If you go back and listen to that review, I gave a lot of props. And I was actually looking forward to seeing the friendship dynamic of Fatima, Angela, and Belinda, because I was like, you know, these are friends. I really like seeing this. It is a complete difference from what we see on Sisters. And I was like, but I ain't getting too excited because this is Tyler Perry. And just in Tyler Perry fashion, he jacked this damn friendship up. And I just don't like that. But I just hate that that's Belinda's makeup as a character. Like, you jealous and envious and trying to destroy happiness with Fatima, or the little, it ain't happy over there. Let me not say that. But anyway, off that. So she decides to go with Nate to the hospital to check on Zach because she seemed overly concerned by his mom ODing, and we know that Belinda don't give two dams. So when Fatima comes back to Angela's house, Angela is having sex with Sam. Angela is super loud. Angela is, to me, just doing too damn much. She acting like she riding a horse. She making all these little galloping giddy ups. I don't know. I don't know what the hell was going on with that situation. Fatima even had on headphones and it wasn't helping the situation. And so Fatima goes downstairs. She ends up seeing Sam naked. And we find out, you know, maybe there was a reason why Angela was doing all that screaming, because, you know, obviously Sam is well endowed. The fact that he made Fatima say damn after she, you know, has hyped up Zach's penis size. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Sam was, you know, I don't know. I'm getting tired of all the sex and the penises and I'm just getting tired of all of that. So we going to skip right on along. Now, in the same breath, Angela comes downstairs after Sam goes back upstairs to put some damn clothes on or whatever he's going to do. The fact that Angela walked downstairs, there was no sweat, there was no smearing of makeup, her hair was perfectly in place. I said, what kind of sex was this, Tyler? Now, I am huge on continuity. Okay, I am huge on continuity. Now, if we just had sex and the sex was that wild and the sex was like that, hair needs to be thrown a little bit. It needs to be some glistening on that skin. It needs to be something. Angela came out there like she came right out of the hair and makeup trailer. Okay, I'm gonna need for her appearance to match all that noise that she was giving in that damn bedroom. That's just me. So back at the hospital, going back to Connie and Zach, and you know, she was basically just saying, you know, that she's always been there, and she's always, you know, of course she's always known that Zach's mom had an addiction, and it just further went to show how invested Connie has been in her friendship with Zach and even Jeremiah, because the way that she was talking to him, he was listening. You know what I'm saying? He listened to her. And before we get to this scene, there was a scene where Zach and Jeremiah got into a little tussle because he was blaming Zach. He called Fatima a couple of bees, and Zach, you know what I'm saying, just went off on him and was punching him and everything like that. And I do find that interesting that, and I wish we could go deeper, because I think this definitely is something that does happen. You have men who would disrespect the woman in their life, call them out their names, do just unthinkable things to them. And the moment somebody else says something out of the way, you want to pump, you know what I'm saying, push your chest out as if you're so protective of this woman, and you're doing the same thing this other brother is doing. Like, I think about the fact that Zach has called this woman a bee multiple times. He's disrespected her several times, and has yet, even the latest thing, and when ZATIMA came back on, he has yet to give a sincere apology. But yet you want to beat the brakes off your brother for calling Fatima out of her name when you've done that several times to her face. I just have an issue with that. It just seems so disingenuous, and it just doesn't even seem like it's about Fatima. It just seems like, your manhood was challenged of some sort. So I have my own issues with that, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother video. And so when Connie was talking about her kids to Zach and the things that she has to do, Zach gave her his keys to his car. And I was like, wait a minute. Zach is pushing like $100,000 car, and he gave it without fail. He gave it without thought. And if you had the opportunity to listen to me and Erica's conversation on our Sister's Keeper this past Thursday, we talked about how, what if Connie and Zach were together? Because there seems to be such a familiar liking to them. It seems like Zach can be himself. He's not putting on an air for her. It's something about them that is very comforting, and I know it's not going to happen, but just to think about that for a moment, there is something special about Zach's relationship with Connie, and I wish we could explore that or even get some of the background as it pertains to how they developed a kinship, a relationship. I would like to hear that, but y'all know we probably are not going to ever get that. And so once he gave her his keys, they embraced, gave each other a hug, and she left. And that was the end of that with them. And so we get to Deja is legit my favorite character on ZATIMA. I just want to throw that out there. So, Deja is going in the house with this dude. So I'm guessing, somebody she met, and he probably paid for it. And Fatima is recording her because Fatima said she was going to go to Zach's house. So in the midst of her sitting outside, she sees Deja. She's recording on her phone. Ain't nothing wrong with Deja. Deja is perfectly fine. But the moment she realizes that Fatima is recording her, she starts to act like her neck is hurting. When I tell you Jasmine, the lady who plays Deja, she is hilarious. She is hilarious. So basically, Fatima was like, girl, you can stop that faking. I already know ain't nothing wrong with you. I'm going to need you to get up off this lawsuit. And she was like, I ain't doing nothing. I'm still going to sue you. So she was basically telling Fatima that you need to be worried about your man, because I saw him with this girl who had braids with green hair or whatever she said about her. And then she had pictures. And then she was like, I think her name is Connie. She shows Fatima the pictures. And of course, Fatima's in her feelings a little bit because she's highly aware of who Connie is. And Deja was like, is this your man or not? Is this your nick or not? I said, girl, she was so extra, but she was funny. It was needed to break the monotony. It was hilarious. And so as she's talking to Deja, Connie comes out of the house. And Deja was like, ooh, girl, she got on your blouse? And Fatima was like, what the F? Like, what the hell you doing here? And that's how the episode ended. I was like, so you in your feelings now, Fatima? You ain't even supposed to be there, sis. You ain't even supposed to be there. Even though he did tell her, well, let me take that back. Because he did tell her that he was going to leave the door open for her, which is, we know, a recycled storyline from Sisters, a recycled line from what Karen told him. I'm just like, Tyler, of all the words, of all the dialogue, of all the sentences that can be structured, we do not need to see this thing. I'm going to tell y'all what I said, and this is just how I feel. Watching ZATIMA, it furthermore pushes the point for me that this show isn't necessary. Because a lot of the stuff that happens on ZATIMA, we can actually see it play out on Sisters. That's just how I feel. Deja has already made her, appearance premiere on Sisters. Have Connie go over there too. Hell, I just don't understand. Like, Bryce, he's a character that we really don't need to see. We could care less about Bryce and Angela and whatever it is they got going on, which I get more into that episode 18. But it's really not of any importance. That's just personally how I feel about the whole thing. But we'll get into that, like I said, episode 18. I do want to thank you guys for listening. I thank you for the new subscribers, the new commenters. I greatly appreciate you. Until next time, y'all be safe out there, and I will holler at y'all later.